My name is Sid Haas. I'm the Vice President of Business Development here at LKCS. And today's presentation is on EStatement benefits that you're sure to love. So, for those of you not familiar with the company, LKCS has been serving banks and credit unions since 1961. And we provide a wide variety of services focused on the needs of community financial institutions. Statements and e-statements are certainly a large part of what we do, but we really focus on utilizing data to improve our clients' marketing results across all channels. But we're going to be discussing e-statements, and we're going to start with how we can love your e-statement users, because after all, they're definitely saving you money every month. So we really feel that your e-statements need to deliver a premium user experience. And what I mean by that is that people know what to expect when they open, a paper statement and take it out of an envelope, but they don't necessarily know what to expect when you ask them to sign up for e-statements and begin to receive their e-statements online. So you need to deliver a better e-statement than your paper statements so that you can provide a benefit to your account holders and not just provide a benefit to your financial institution. So you begin obviously by looking for a solution that enables you to brand that solution, provide a little bit better looking experience, than just kind of a generic appearance to the e-statement interface. So that's, the first, I think, part of evaluating an e-statement solution. But then you can also look at the e-statement display itself. How is the data rendered? So is the statement data presented, in an unfriendly format, or do you have the ability to modify that formatting and present the data in a little bit nicer format? So obviously at LKCS, we have the ability to reformat statements in both printed form and electronic form, so that the data is easier to read and understand, change fonts, change colors, change formatting in any way, shape, form that you can imagine. And know that with e-statements, obviously, unlike paper statements, color doesn't cost more. So if you compare the two statements that you're seeing on the screen here, the statements are the same, right? The data is identical. But obviously, you can see which one's more attractive, which one's easier to read, which one's easier to understand, which one has a little bit more pop to it. And there's not going to be any difference in cost to display the data in color than there is to display that data just in black and white. Second step, obviously, is to spread that love. So we can heat up e-statements by adding some marketing sizzle. So, we've seen a lot of e-statement solutions out there that, don't necessarily have the ability to include stuffers, right? We know that you're used to delivering statement inserts, newsletters, things like that with your paper statements. How are you able to deliver that with your e-statements? So we deliver them through banner ads. So we link banner ads to web pages, we link them to PDFs, we link them to online applications, anything like that. And those banner ads can appear to all of your e-statement users, or we can display them selectively. So we can set up different groups of your e-statement users based on account relationships, balances. We'll talk more about that further, in a few slides. But not every e-statement user has to see the same combination of banner ads. And each banner ad can even be flagged with that little new flag that you're seeing, for example, until they click on it. So we can attract attention to different banner ads potentially. And then even within the e-statement itself, you have the ability to display inserts, just like we do with our paper statements. So you have the ability to attract attention to marketing campaigns, cross-sell offers, lots of different opportunities to present marketing information directly within the e-statement display itself. So when we talk about selective EStatement marketing and how you can cross-sell different products and services and how you can target different groups of EStatement users, we can target by account relationships, so which accounts users have or don't have. We can target by different balances in those accounts. We can target by specific activity. So we might be able to look at direct deposit or who has, certain types of, transactions or withdrawals or who's using, a debit card, anything like that. We can look at geography, where do people live? We can look at any conditions that we can identify within the statement data itself, or any conditions that we can identify in a separate data file that you give us. So that can be a separate file as simple as just a list of member numbers, or it can be a complicated file that you give us from a third-party provider, with all sorts of other data fields, but we can, parse through that and look for other conditions in there to trigger whether it's a banner ad or an insert that goes into your statements, anything like that. So some ideas for you to consider when it comes to cross-selling and marketing in both your e-statements and your paper statements are marketing to new members, welcoming new members or new customers, to your institutions. Thanking, people who've paid off, who just finished paying off a loan or are about to finish paying off a loan. Auto loan recapture opportunities. Who's got a low loan balance and maybe looking or starting to look for their next, vehicle. Home equity advance requests, right? Who has available line of credit balances, and how are you, giving them that opportunity to request additional funds in that HELOC account? Birthday messages. We have clients that, just look at who's got a birthday in the month that they're sending a statement, and they'll just pop a little birthday insert onto that e-statement. Loan payment coupons. If you're still sending out coupon booklets, consider sending those coupons with your e-statements and paper statements. So we can promote money market accounts and CDs, for people with high balance checking accounts. If you have separate, divisions or relationships with insurance or investment, companies, we can promote those services within your e-statements. We can promote different offers for your business accounts than we can for your personal accounts. So that's another way to segment your marketing. If you're growing by merger and acquisition, let's discuss strategies for how, you're welcoming those new account holders, and maybe there's opportunities. We know there are opportunities to market to those account holders differently. And for the credit unions on the call, if you have seg relationships, maybe there's opportunities to leverage those relationships and market to those seg members differently than other members. And I'm sure you have other ideas. There's lots of other ways to do segmented marketing and personalized marketing in both your e-statements and your paper statements, and we have the ability to do that. So with e-statements, we're also notifying, your account holders when their e-statements are available each month. So you have the ability to customize that email notification. In most cases, or in a lot of cases, we see the email notifications going out and just saying, hey, your e-statement is ready. Click here to log in. But that can become much more than that. That can include the information about your latest campaign, your latest marketing offer, even a regulatory notice if you need it to be. So know that you can customize that notification that goes out. And again, we can, prepare that statement, redesign that statement and that e-statement in just about any format or layout that you need. And it can get more exciting than that. So we can really get engaging, with those e-statement users. So we can do some exciting things like customize that landing page. That first page that your account holders see when they log in to view their e-statements can be changed. So it doesn't just have to provide the list of available documents. We can incorporate some pretty exciting things. Again, if you have some exciting offer, some exciting campaign, let's design that landing page to promote that campaign. We can add video to that page. A lot of our customers are investing in video production, and they're putting those videos out there. It can be just as simple. It can be a video, an educational video, for example, that you have on your website, and maybe you want to change it out each quarter, and bring it right into the EStatement pages. That's something that we can do for you. And even have popovers. So let's add popovers in this case to subscribe to an e-newsletter, but it's also a great way to make sure that people see your compliance notifications. Let's make it an engaging experience. EStatements can be an engaging experience for your users. And all of that drives them back each month as they check those EStatement accounts. The big thing is we need to make sure that your EStatements are easy and convenient, because that's the goal of obviously providing a good EStatement application. So you need to make sure that your EStatements are mobile friendly. We know today that over 50% of US internet users only use mobile devices. So are your EStatements mobile friendly? So our EStatements are responsive. Regardless of how members or customers are logging into EStatements, when they load them on a phone or on a tablet, they're going to size appropriately. And even on a phone, they'll be able to enlarge the statement just by clicking on it. So they'll be able to view that data and read it, even on the tiniest screen. You can enable text message notifications. So again, we know that a lot of account holders are accessing their EStatements on a phone. So an email may not be their preferred method of notification. So we can enable text messaging for you, and then let your account holders specify how they want to receive notifications for different types of documents that you're sending out. So maybe for their statements, their monthly statements, an email notification is fine, because they're able to check their balances and activity in online banking every day. But if they get an insufficient funds notice, maybe they want to receive a text message on that. You can give them that control and that flexibility right in their EStatement profile for them to set that all up on their own. And you need to make sure, obviously, to drive up your EStatement enrollment rates and your EStatement penetration rates, that you can remove any barriers to EStatements. First thing is to obviously make sure that enrollment is simple. We still see, banks and credit unions out there that require people to fill out a paper form or come into the branch to sign up for EStatements. If that's your enrollment process, you really need to evaluate that and consider changing that setup process. Online registration today is a must. With our EStatement platform, account holders only need to know their account number, the last 4 digits of their social. They can set their password, enter their multi-factor authentication answers, and accept your disclosure, and they're in. Most of our clients don't even need that. They're using an online banking single sign-on. We have single sign-on relationships with multiple online banking providers. In that case, your account holders simply log into your online banking system, click a link to access EStatements, accept our disclosure, enter their email address and maybe their cell phone number for text messaging, accept the disclosure, and they're in for EStatements. And then you need to provide an easy opt-out, because honestly, one of the things that scare account holders from not enrolling for EStatements is not knowing that they can get out if they don't like them for whatever reason. We have an easy opt-out process. It's just a checkbox to revert to printed statements, and you'd be amazed at how few people ever opt out of receiving e-statements. If they do, you can receive email notifications. You can receive a report at any time to show you who's reverted back to a paper statement. So you can contact those account holders and find out what was wrong so that you can correct the issue and get them back into receiving e-statements. But it's a tiny fraction of your users that will enroll for e-statements and then ever opt out to go back to a paper statement. Are you able to deliver multiple document types? Are you only delivering your statements electronically? So how are you delivering your daily notices electronically? Are you delivering your credit card statements electronically, your mortgage statements, your tax forms? Because if you're not, you need to look at that, because how much more could you save if all of those were provided electronically in addition to those account statements? So obviously all of those can be delivered electronically and can be delivered successfully. Your account holders will appreciate it because they'll get them all faster, and they'll have one place to go to retrieve all of those documents and save all of those documents so that they're in an online repository where they can go to retrieve them at any time and look at them whenever they need them. Which leads to retention. Your e-statement solution is your account holder's filing cabinet. So 12 months of retention should be the minimum that you offer. We're seeing clients ask us to be, to hold their documents for 18 months and 24 months more and more frequently. And some customers are asking us for unlimited retention. The other side of that is you need to make sure that your documents are available instantly as soon as account holders enroll for e-statements. So the minute they enroll, are all of their historical documents already available to them in the online platform, or do they have to start building up that history when they first enroll? Because there's a big difference there. When a customer comes in or a member comes in to to the institution and asks to see a historical statement, and you tell them there's a $2 fee for you to produce that statement, or if you enroll online, for e-statements, you'll be able to see it right away. There's a big driver for you to get some people to enroll for e-statements. LKCS obviously offers that instant access. We post every person's statement online, whether they're signed up for e-statements or not, so that when they first enroll, any documents that were available to them are already there. And then obviously you need to make sure that you love your staff, because we're not just providing e-statements to your account holders, we're also providing e-statements and e-statement management tools to your institution. So here are some capabilities that you need to evaluate and you need to consider. How are you modifying and checking, e-statement user settings? How many people signed up for e-statements during your last marketing promotion? How many total e-statement users do you have? Who are they? Who's not signed up for e-statements? Which email addresses are bouncing back? Which account holders, should you contact or can you contact to get correct email addresses? How do you view somebody's statements or notices or tax forms? And how difficult is that for you? Because if any of that is not possible, or if any of that is difficult, there's a better way. Our solution provides all sorts of reports that are very, very easy for you. They're all available either right in the system or downloading, an Excel CSV instantly or nearly instantly, within a few seconds for you to see that data. You can slice and dice it up, select date ranges. Very, very easy for you to determine all of that information. To search for statements, or documents for any of your account holders, is as easy as knowing that person's name or account number, and you can find those documents and view them right online. And then obviously security is essential to everybody. So information security and privacy is critical to LKCS in all aspects of our operations. These are just a few of the things that we do to protect and safeguard, our clients' operations. In addition to being SOC 2 certified, we go above and beyond the requirements of even the SOC 2 certification. But we take security very, very, seriously. We can provide all of the due diligence information, all of the, external vulnerability assessments that we perform, all of the intrusion testing that we perform, is all available for our clients to review upon request. And that's all I had for today's presentation. So short and sweet, but there's a lot of benefits to EStatements. We have clients that have achieved over 70% EStatement penetration. So, of all of their account holders, with 70% of them, being on EStatements, we feel that our platform is one of the best ones out there. We continue to make improvements to drive those penetration rates even higher, and we're happy to discuss how we can do that for your institutions as well.